Welcome back to Our Life, Beginnings, and Always. Last time we went on a little drive with our good buddy Cove to see his mother and our bestie Kyra Priest. That's an okay moment. It's probably more like most of these moments in Step 3, and like probably a lot of the later stuff. It's probably way more meaningful if we were playing a character that was actually going to date Cove. Or anybody else, for that matter. Like I'm sorry, the friendship thing is not very, like a lot of the content, especially this later part of the game, is heavily loaded towards romance, and we're not romancing. But without further ado, let's do some, No, we can't do 10. Happiness is for last. We can't be happy until after we've done all these other things. Oh! Well, I didn't expect it to roll that way, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me then, and this is going to be something. Let's hang, shall we? I think it's either this one or this one are the ones I've been trying to get. There's something I really want to set up, and it might be at the beginning of hang, so that would be good at least if we can get that set up. Like I said, this is one I really want to do, this is one I really want to do, because they'll be really interesting, and Charity will be really interesting, and Late Shift. The rest I'm just kind of like whatever about, but let's hang. That's not one of the ones I've been looking forward to, but this might, we'll see what happens. So also, this is one of the moments where we would have been able, we were going to have Baxter around for it. This is going to be the only Baxter moment hashtag that we do, and it's probably going to be multiple videos. Because if I was indifferent with Baxter, I'm sure this would have played out completely differently. But I wanted to include him. I don't know about this moment, but I want to include him in the boating moment. He shows up in that one, and I want to see what he does in that one. I'm really curious. That's why otherwise, I think she would have nothing to do with Baxter Ward. We'll see how we do in this moment. I'm really curious because I did indifferent fond towards Baxter, so I'm really curious how that's gonna work. Or not indifferent, nervous fond. The stars had magically, like, I see that as kind of like she doesn't know how to really feel about Baxter. She's not comfortable around how forward he is and how he is and how insincere he seems to be. Yeah. Anyway. The stars had magically aligned and somehow everyone was free today, but it was more than just luck. You owed it all to Miranda's determination. Knowing that Miranda Eckert would somehow make summer plans filled you with determination. She set things up over several phone calls to find the perfect window to hit the beach. She couldn't wait to meet up with... Oh! I could just choose not to include Baxter straight up here. Ooh! I don't have to include Baxter in this moment. I thought since I had Baxter as the DLC, it would automatically throw him in, but I don't think that Marina would. I don't think... I mean, here's the thing. I just, like, I want to have him in boating, and it needs to logically follow that Marina would think, hey, let's invite that guy. And if she's never done anything with him or had any interaction with him whatsoever up to that point, why would she think that? Because the whole point is I want to get Baxter and Lee in the same room and see what they say to each other. Because they're both rich and flirty. That's the entire thing, right? We're trying to hook our cousin up with Baxter, which is a bad idea since now we know Baxter is not interested in any of that. But let's include Baxter because this will make this twice as long, and I know what happens. I don't know what happens if I do this, but coordinating schedules have been especially rough lately, but you didn't let that stop you from organizing your grand plan. You wanted your new friend to be included in all the fun. Yeah, he doesn't do anything, so why would it matter? He's not really my new friend. A bit of messaging with the others, you had brought up the possibility of adding Baxter to the mix. Why do I have to be the one? Why wouldn't Terry have done that? I feel like Terry would have done that. No one objected to your request, so Terry swiftly put the phone number she stated at the beginning of this number to good use. Well, no one objected, except Cove would have. because Cove doesn't. Actually, I'm really curious if my version of Cove is going to like Baxter more. Baxter had been flattered to be thought of that early in the planning stage. Funnily enough, he'd been the easiest one to account for, despite being far and away the newest guy on the block. Yeah, because Baxter has no plans. Baxter was able to rearrange his schedule to whatever anyone else needed, and you and Terry relayed the remaining details to Cove and Miranda later. Me and Cove work. I'm not sure Terry might work also. She's doing lifeguarding training. And Miranda, I don't know what Miranda does. They never really hint. She's going to school. She's taking summer classes. That's right. So we're all busy. Your hopes were high. Almost everyone knew each other to varying degrees, but this would be Miranda and Baxter's first time meeting. And yet, you weren't that worried. Deep down, you had a pretty good feeling they'd get along once they got to spend a little time together. Everyone gets along with Baxter Ward. That was where things stood. Yeah, this is gonna be... You'd see them all soon, but Cove was there with you already. Yeah. No, we're not meeting up with Baxter. Baxter is not invited to our room. No. I mean, if I have to choose, Cove would already be here. Nodding along to Cove's story, you ran through the mental checklist in the back of your mind. Baxter didn't have everyone's numbers, so keeping him updated on changes was the starred, circled most important thing you had to keep track of. No, I mean, this is the thing. I feel this is character assassination a bit, but you have to if you want to include the man, right? And I don't really all that much want to include the man because he kind of takes over this moment and makes it all about him, which is the point because it's one of his DLC moments. And I could have played out the non-DLC version, but this is all on me. I mean, it's not too late to go back, right? But I want him in boating. And I want her to at least have some reason to think, oh, hey, Baxter's okay. So we'll see. If anything came up, you would have to run down the street and tell him, but there was still a number of things you needed to get done, hopefully, before that. Oh, Jesus Christ, Cove, put a shirt on. So, like father, like son, Cove likes to be shirtless all the damn time. Oh, we're going to the beach, that's why. Cove sat in your windowsill and kicked one of his legs into the air idly. He already had a swimsuit on, and his towel was bundled on his arm in a misshapen ball. That's right, we're going to the beach. I forgot about that. He'd shown up earlier that morning with a surprising amount of enthusiasm. He was chatting as you caught up to his preparation. Oh, that's right, half this moment takes place on the beach. I was thinking this was like... I was thinking of the latter half of this only. Oh, geez. But seriously, I couldn't find my swimsuit this morning. I looked everywhere. It disappeared. I had no idea what I was going to do. You could have gotten a new one somewhere. What happened to your other swimsuits? You don't have to wear a swimsuit to be on the beach. Wow. Oh, no. What happened to all your other swimsuits? I know that's not your only one. Cove looked away and shrugged. I might have some laundry to do. Anyway, I don't know why it was in the bathroom. Why I never put it there. When I never put it there. He gave a small smile and readjusted the towel in his arms. You could now see that it had been folded at some point, but then rolled up and carried without much care. This is Cove, everybody. Cove does, like, whatever. Cove doesn't think very much.
I'm so glad.
But I'm just glad I found it. It would have been crappy to lose my favorite trunks. So, knowing what I know, they use that "I'm so glad" line for parts where Cove is, like super, like, happy about you or something you did, but it's also like his relief to have found his swimsuit. It was nice to see Cove so happy and comfortable in what he was wearing. Do we care, though? You walked over to your dresser and mused about how you'd picked out your own swimsuit. Your height had complicated shopping a little. Not all suits are made to properly fit people like you, and then for the shape of your body. So I'm super confused. I said I was tall. This, like, not super tall, but it's acting like I'm a frickin' giant all the time. It's like, no, she's like a tall girl, right? Like, a lot of women are tall. At least I think so. I mean, I know I'm kind of short, but I've met plenty of, like, women who are taller than me. But, like, a lot of women are, like, you know, around, like, the upper 5 whatever, like 5'9", 5'10", you know, that's kind of what I'm thinking when they say tall. I'm not saying she's like 6 feet tall, like over 6 feet tall here, you know. She's not like Cove height. He's probably still taller than Marina. Should I have just gone with average height? Because it thinks I'm some sort of like freak of nature every time it describes me. And also we get to have the shape of our body, which So here's the thing. Probably you were generally medium, probably. I'm not really thinking of Marina as being particularly curvy. And she's athletic and active, so she probably wouldn't have she'd probably actively be a person who like works out and stuff to not have as much body fat. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I just think Marina has to be hot like everybody else in Sunset Bird, am I right? Yeah, I think we have to be generally medium. And you had noticeable muscles. You had a little muscle definition. Your body was soft. Your body was a little muscle definition. She wouldn't be like bodybuilder. Meh. Your body was delicate. How demure. How mindful. Your build was toned and firm, with muscles that were there, those slight in size. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, Marina does a lot of like activity. She's a surfer. She's into sports and stuff. She probably works out for basketball and such. You kept mostly the same shape you'd had throughout your teenage years. You were used to your body, and body was used to your habits.
Are you okay?
That's a weird way to put that, because like you were used to your body, and your body was used to your habits. Like, I feel like that's something it would have told you, like how you felt about your body. It usually asks you that all the time, right? Suppose it didn't hear. Oh yeah, I was thinking about some things. What things? Just myself and my body, really. And what do you think? Okay, never mind. What did you think of who you were? You considered your identity further. Okay. Oh, your identity. Oh, this isn't like your body, but this is like how you feel about your skin. So, you knew for sure that you were non-binary. Yeah, I think that's definitely how they feel. Your identity had different facets to it. You still didn't know what identity you felt truly comfortable with. Wow, this is interesting that this is a way you can feel about being non-binary, which is kind of... I didn't expect to get on a little tangent about here, but I see this. I don't know what this means. I might pick that and see what it says. I don't know what that means by it. This is... I don't know. I feel myself... I think this is how I don't know. Some days I'm good. Maybe my... Let's see what this says. It was more than a single binary choice you made. But you were sure... But you were you... Ah... That might be... This might be right. This might be right, actually. You had no questions? No? You still had things figured out. She said it's a work in progress. No, Marina knows herself well. I think this is it here, though. This identity had different facets to it. It was more than a single binary choice you had made, but you were you, and that was what mattered. This, and... Okay, this is where we gotta talk about our tits. Yeah, you can even do this. I think Marina's just... Unfortunately for her, I think she's just a normal, average person, right? I don't think she's gonna be like Tits McGee over here. She's not Tifa from Final Fantasy VII. Sorry, I'll stop talking about this. This is probably insulting for the ladies watching this. I'm not trying to be. I'm just being funny. I apologize. I'm not very... yeah. Your breasts were not exactly small, but not huge either. They were medium, you suppose. Oh, jeez. You can... How you feel? I mean, this is all very valid and important stuff you can feel about, right? This is all very valid and important stuff. The binary thing, though, I was trying to say something else about that. They'll never mention it again in this game. Like, people will call you they, them if that's your chosen pronouns, and nobody will ever bring up the fact that I'm non-binary or that Marina feels that way about herself. You wish they were smaller and might get a reduction? Use the binary considering all options. You like them as they were considering options for them. That might be a thing. I don't think she'd want surgery. Or they'd want surgery. I don't think Marina would be about that. But I don't think she's entirely confident either about her bust. Like, I don't think that they necessarily feel that good about it. Like, because and I'm speaking completely out of turn here, and please don't take this the wrong way. This is how I perceive the world. I feel like women with larger chests get more unwanted attention from the males, and Marina wouldn't want that. She's not interested in that. Like, guys at school and stuff, you know, probably get some attention from guys at school, and they don't want that. Like, it's like the Derek making that weird awkward pact to want to marry you when you're older. And some of the ways Kovacs even sometimes, you know, it's kind of hard for them. So I'm going to say that you left them as they were, but we're considering options for them. You were okay with your breast for now, but not so okay with them. The potential changes weren't in your mind. That's a good way of putting that. Besides that, you went through hormone therapy. You're currently going through hormone therapy. Besides that, hormone therapy is something you were thinking of. Yeah, I think so, actually. Marina might be thinking about that. I don't know, because then I gotta think about it. Then I gotta consider it more when we get to step 4, if Marina has actually done any of these things. I don't think Marina's the kind of person that's really gonna do any changes to her body in a major way. I don't think that they would do that. I think that they're more than pretty happy with their body type, but it's just certain things, like, because if I can get to other choices, and I think it might be in this moment since we're doing all these other choices right now about ourselves. There's one that, I mean, you probably all get it already, that she's not interested in, that they're not interested in dating people for reasons, and the attention is not welcome, and anything that Marina could do to take the attention away from themselves. But we'll say, and that was all, because I don't think she would, or they would do this. People with a lot of their identity wrapped up in their physical form have shaped their self-image. You were comfortable in yours, I think. You hated your body, you knew you had gender dysphoria. Like I said, again, I wasn't planning on playing a character that was particularly, like, wanting to transition ever, or be a different gender than their biogender, but, like, Marina doesn't feel... It's the way, this is, I hate to be, she's not Marina is not a self-insert character. That was never the intention. I wanted to play a character that was very different than the character my friend played. That was the intention. I wanted to play a more confident, outgoing character, and I wanted to explore some of these other options in the game, just how things would play out if you picked some of the different options a bit. So I came up with a person in my mind of how they should be, and that's who Marina Foster is. It's just some of the choices I've made are very similar to my own life choices. So, like, the non-binary thing to me, what that represents is that I don't feel specific. I'm biologically male, which, I mean, probably. I don't feel that. I've never felt that my whole life. I've never felt like, hey, I'm a boy. I'm a guy. I like guy things. You know, I like, I don't know, sports and cars and working out and hitting on women and whatever and I know that's not all there is to masculinity, but I don't feel masculine. I never have, and I never will, and my body type is such that I never will. This is all TMI, I know. You signed it. I'll probably put a TMI warning on the beginning of this or something if people don't want to listen to it. But I also don't think that I've ever felt feminine in my life either. I just don't. I'm not, like, I have trans friends and such that, and I see that, and I'm like, you're definitely, you know, a girl. You've always been a girl. I can see that. You have your interests. Your who you are is distinctly, genuinely feminine. And I'm not. I have some interests that kind of fall in both categories of the stereotypical, defined two-gender system. But to me, I'm just a person. I'm a person who's a person. But I see that as, and I see that I choose to express that as non-binary. That's how I feel, because, like, it's not really gender fluid. It's not like I just am. I just exist. I am an existing person who exists. Marina, I feel, is very similar to that. Like, that Marina would just see herself as Marina, that it doesn't matter, especially given the kind of environment that she's grown up in. Like, where her moms are very supportive of all her choices. She has, you know, friends like Cove and Derek and now Miranda and Terry who support her as well, support them and the Holdens and such, that she feels like she doesn't have to really worry and feel bad about herself. And I know I'm using the pronouns wrong, but I think she probably uses they, them, and she, her, if I'm honest. Like, it probably, you can't pick that in this game, but she probably uses both anyway. I'm kind of thinking that. And it gives me an out, right? But, I feel like that Marina would be comfortable with her body. Maybe not confident is a little too strong. Like, Marina's not gonna, like I said, again, it's more of a, like, well, I don't want other people to perceive me a certain way. Like, I don't want people to look at me and think, hey, that's a girl. But she also doesn't care that much. She's also, it's just, Marina is Marina. As you may have noticed throughout the game, the choices that we've made and the things that we've decided, is Marina being Marina. She's just a person who likes what she likes and has kind of strong opinions about stuff and, like, kind of does what she wants and isn't necessarily compliant with the rules and what people think of her. The soiree, going to the soiree without putting on all the fancy clothes. It's like, I don't care what people think of me. I'm myself. I'm going to be myself. So anyway, with enough of that, we've already wasted more than 20 minutes, and it's probably not over yet because I think it might let me choose my other stuff here too. That's going to continue to be... This whole entire video might just be me talking through this and not actually getting to any of the content. This might be like 3 videos. It's probably going to be, because this is a long moment too. Because there's a beach party, and then there's a whole nother thing after that because we invited Baxter along. So, strap in. You're comfortable with yours. I also had to talk myself into this choice. Your body was you, and it was a good one that you felt content in. Yes, that's a good way. Your body was you. That's how I felt about myself. I mean, given myself, there are things I would improve about my body. There was things I'd like to change and improve about my body, but I don't feel like without drastic changes to my lifestyle that they're possible, or surgery, or things like that. It's not things I can just do that I'm not comfortable doing. Anyway, this isn't about me, this is about Marina. Let's do it. You used to not feel as good when you were younger, but you had since grown into your body. You felt more at home now and less uncomfortable. Yeah, so I think we actually had expressed that Marina, when she was younger, there's all these perceived notions of you being female and having to be a certain way because you're a girl. And Marina didn't feel that. Marina never felt that right like that. So this is like the... I had considered at the beginning that this character might be transmasked too, but I'm sure that they are who they are. This is Marina. You focused on Cove again. He smiled at you and tilted his head, as a question still in his eyes. He was waiting for you to come to an answer, but before you could, you had something to say to him. I wonder if you had invited Baxter up, if you could have had the same whole thing with Baxter, what that would have been like. But Marina is not interested in that. Like, her inviting Baxter to come is more of a a curiosity than actually like wanting to get closer to Baxter. Like, and also, you know, Marina is still a friendly person who wants to include people. I guess that's a way of putting it. She would want to include this new guy in the neighborhood who seems like he wants to make friends and have a fun summer, is roughly the same age as them. You know, she's lived here her whole life. There's not other people without, like, leaving the neighborhood. Why not include him? You know, he needs friends, too. Like, she would still feel that way about people like she did when she was a kid. She's not closed off from people. She's not... Just because he was a little weird to her in Cove, she'd be willing to give him a chance. So this is probably her including him in that and trying to give him a chance. She's not going to go on those, like, one-on-one date moments with him, because hell no. What do you think about me? You like the way I look, right? What if I told you I wanted to get surgery? Oh, jeez. Well, she doesn't want to get surgery. She's thought about it, but... What do you think about me? About how I look, I mean. Cole smirked a little, his eyes taking you in easily. Fishing for compliments, Marina? Yeah, it is kind of out of character for her to ask that, but the other ones were even more out of character. Like, she wouldn't ask, she wouldn't specifically ask anyone, you know, either of these things. She wouldn't care what other people thought. I mean, that sounds probably... Maybe I should just do this one because it's more casual. He looked at Cove expectantly. Cove smirked a little, his eyes taking it easily. Fishing for compliments from Marina? You look great. Everyone knows that, including you. By the way, everyone knows that, including you, by the way. Unless that's changed. You pouted, you laughed, you blushed. I don't want a compliment, I was just asking. So what if you wanted to compliment me? I don't want a compliment, I was just asking. Fine. Cove shook his head. His hand went up to try to unsuddenly cover his smile. I was kind of worried you were in your own head, because something was wrong. Guess not. I'm glad.
Hey.
Hey, Marina. Cove gave a bent smile, pointing to your arms. You're looking particularly toned today. It's... He answered not with words, but a solid okay sign with both hands and the same cheeky smile. I mean, this man's is in good shape, right? It's weird to me, though. So this is 18-year-old Cove, right? I'm not gonna... I don't want to say too much, but... Like, he's in good shape. But frickin', like, older Cove is a frickin' bodybuilder. I hate it. You're... Because everybody has to be that way, for whatever frickin' reason. Anyway, you were a little taken aback. That came out of nowhere. You glanced at yourself. You like that? So, yeah, this is, like, flirty shit that I don't want. Yeah. You started to flex and show off jokingly. You stood there stunned. You're so sweet. You had some very good arms yourself. You hugged him. Oh, geez. Would she redirect or would she do this? I feel like she would do this, because we've always said Marina deflects with humor. That's always been her thing. You posed dramatically and showed off your guns, fighting laughter. First the right, then the left. You flexed both your arms and widened your stance in the stereotypical strong pose. He cracked a huge smile. Marina, this is too much for me to witness. Cove hopped up from his seat and fluttered his hands in front of you, gesturing for the display to stop, laughing the whole while. He gave the poor guy a break and put the goods back down. He exaggeratedly wiped his brow and let himself fall back into place in the windowsill. We'd probably like arm wrestle Cove and shit all the time. That's probably something that she would do. Finally, you felt that was enough of that topic for one day. You went back to your original goal before you got sidetracked. You needed to pick what you wanted to wear to the beach. Oh, geez. Now we gotta do this. So... Wow. I'm kind of hoping that there's at some point you do a gender identity here, but there should be the relationship identity. Like, that's what I want. That's what I was hoping they would also get into, because I'm gonna just go out and say it. I've been waiting to pick it for a long time. Marina is aromantic. That's her thing. She knows that. She's not... By now, she would know that. Like, when she was 13, she would have been confused because she's not really attracted to guys or girls. And I understand that. She's not interested in dating anyone. She's not asexual. But she's aromantic. I've definitely decided that. Or that she's decided that. And I was hoping to get to express that. It might be a different moment where you get to do that. Anyway, you chose to wear casual clothes instead. We're not doing that because we're going swimming. You picked a one-piece swimsuit, two-piece bikini, a two-piece tankini. You wanted to wear your wetsuit, swim trunks to the top. Like, we just got over talking about how Marina is comfortable with her body and doesn't really care. I think it's the two-piece, right? I don't, I hate to be the person, but I don't actually know what this means. I'm dumb. I'm sorry. This is the dude in me, sadly. What is a tankini? Oh. Okay, that's what you call a swimsuit where the upper part's like a top. And the bottom is still briefs, essentially. Oh, well, I don't think she would do that. I just wanted to see. I always thought that was the same as a one-piece, but no, that's not. It's not. It's technically two pieces, but the top part is a shirt, basically, like a top. Okay, now I know. See, I never knew this term. I knew what it was, I thought about the wetsuit. Like, younger Marina might have done that when she was less comfortable in her body. This is... But I think that Marina is comfortable enough with her body and stuff that she would wear a bikini. Yeah. When you dug around your drawer, you tried to think if there was anything else you were missing. Oh boy. Your board shorts? You picked out a regular shirt to... Yeah, I think maybe she'd wear a shirt over the top, though. Because again, like... Baxter's gonna be there. He's a dude that she's not exactly comfortable around. And, yeah, and everybody else. But even Cove, you know, has made it clear that he's got, like, interest in her sometimes. She's not really a hat person like her sister or any of these things, but maybe a regular shirt to wear as well. Yeah, I don't know what board shorts are. If that's for, like, surfing. I really kind of want to know. What does this... Does it say anything? No. We're not gonna... We're gonna get the... Yeah, we only get to pick one, so... And it doesn't explain it. I don't know what a full swimsuit cover-up to wear as well is either. A regular shirt to wear as well. With that taken care of, you had your outfit together and looked at Cove. He was tapping his toes on the side of the wall as he waited. Vaguely wondered what he thought if he thought that was a comfortable place to sit. You hope so, given how long he perched on it. I mean, this little windowsill is probably really comfortable. Plus, we have this little thing here. I mean, I don't see why he couldn't. Oh, he's... Regardless, it was time for him to go. You weren't going to put on your beachwear with him just chilling there. I need to change. Cove smiled, content with being kicked out. Alright. Cove lowered himself off the windowsill and walked by you to get to the door. He lightly patted you on the arm.
Bye.
I'll see you up front. Okay. When you were alone, you got undressed and put your swimwear on. You also checked your beach bag for the final time, as it seemed like you hadn't forgotten anything. When you left your room and hurried down the stairs ready to meet Cove, you made sure to lock the front door and walk outside. Oh, we locked the front door. Interesting. Because I'm pretty sure in earlier moments we talked about how no one locked their doors here. Like, I'm pretty sure she didn't as a kid, and I don't think anyone else ever did. Maybe if they were, like, maybe we're the only ones home right now, and we're leaving, and she knows that better than to leave the door unlocked when there's no one home. That's probably what it is. That would probably be that sounds like a mom rule. Cove stood in the road looking down, scuffing his feet in the asphalt. When you shut your heavy door, he looked up at you and smiled. Do you not wear flip-flops, man? Sandals? Do you not do that? Like, if I was going to go to the beach here, I wouldn't not... Like, Marina definitely has something like that. She definitely has, like, sandals or something. Want to check on Baxter? Cove's fairly neutral attitude, and the topic of Baxter didn't escape your notice. He tended to get uncomfortable when Baxter surprised or flustered him, but since things were pre-planned and for an event favorable to Cove, he didn't seem bothered. Yeah, okay, Cove still doesn't like Baxter no matter what you do, and I want to explain that Marina doesn't like Baxter that much either, she's just kind of giving him a chance. Cool, let's go.
Sure.
Okay. But we have to include Baxter because that's, you know... Like I said, I've gone over this a million times. The two of you walked down, hurried up the street, and you hopped onto your doorstep. Hop up onto the doorstep and rang the bell. A few seconds passed, and you shifted your weight in your feet while you waited. But Baxter didn't answer. The pause extended until things reached the point where you felt awkward hovering in the front of his shut-up home. You spun towards Cole and returned your nervousness stare with a tight-lipped smile. At least you could take solace in the fact that the mild misery had company. So yeah, this is the first foray into Baxter's daily schedule. Interesting. There were only a couple of options to pick from. You could either ring the doorbell again, or you could go back to standing in the street where you felt less like an unwanted salesperson. You reached for the bell, but a sudden noise through the window would made you pause. So, like, the ding-dong ditching this when we were a kid, man, that thought of that's coming back. Finally, the door cracked open and Baxter peeked through. He then swung the door the rest of the way out. Sigh.
Good afternoon.
I can't thank you both enough for waiting. Yeah, you and your frickin', like, not being a morning person. This man doesn't get up till the afternoon most days. We won't see that because I'm not doing the moments where you find that out for sure, so it's not a spoiler. Hi. Oh, jeez. Maybe I use this. I'm probably going to use the one of just naked Cove standing in my room, though. Hey, it's good to see you. Why aren't you in a swimsuit? No swimsuit. Do I want to even ask what you were doing in... Oh, jeez. Should we come back later when you're ready? No, this one. No swimsuit. Do I want to ask what you were even doing inside, you joked? Despite your teasing tone, Baxter answered you seriously. Unfortunately, I can easily get lost making last-minute alterations, fixes and so forth. I am sorry I took so long to answer. The last thing I want to do is waste your time. It's okay, no one's mad or running late. There's really nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're here to pick you up if you're all set. Yes, I wasn't planning on swimming, hence no swimsuit. Alrighty then, as long as you're comfortable, that's all that matters. Thank you. I'm sure you have a thank you that you could have done there. Ugh, I hate you so much. The longer you exist, the more I hate you. Be warned though, you'll probably be shaking sand out of everything for weeks.
Understandable.
I'll have to face the ordeal when it comes. Oh my god, that voice the person that voices him. What kind of voice acting direction did they give that person? The atmosphere had become far more laid back. No, it didn't. Cove was the one to move things forward. So, I was thinking we could get settled at the beach now, and Terry and Miranda can catch up with us there.
I can do that.
I second that idea. While this neighborhood is charming, I think a change in scenery would be preferable. You moved in the direction of the beach, while Cove paused to shoot off a quick update. He made sure to let the others know exactly where to find you. I don't mind. He flashed a thumbs up as soon as the message was sent, and with that, the three of you strolled down the street. The path you walked was as natural as breathing for you and Cove. For Baxter, it was a brand new experience. Though you might not have been able to tell, he walked straight on with certainty in his steps that was on par with the locals. The ocean stretched as far as the eye could see. It was a perfect day, clear sky, rolling waves, and an inviting breeze coming across the water to combat the balmy heat. Cove threw down his towel and smoothed out the corners while you settled on a spot for your own things nearby. Baxter, meanwhile, hesitated, merely watching what you two had done. Let me say this right now. I would practically die if I'd gotten to grow up here. I love this. They have this just down the street from where they live. And yes, I know that the ocean isn't as warm. Well, I grew up near basically an ocean too. And I got to go swimming there, but it wasn't within walking distance of my house. I still had to drive anywhere I wanted to go swimming, but I went swimming all the... Don't get me wrong, I grew up in the water. Like, not my early childhood, but my teenage years and stuff, definitely. We were always at the lake or the beach or something. I love that stuff. But if I had had this as a kid, I would have lived at this beach. I would have been Cove. I would have never not been there. I love it. I love the beach, man. I need to go swimming at least one more time before the summer's over, I've decided. I'm probably not going to get to. That's really sad. Huh. Well, I can at least pool. That would be good. Before you could say anything, Baxter moved forward and picked a small stretch of beach close to yours for his own things. He meticulously laid his pure black towel out over the warm white sand. Of course he does. Black towel, white sand, man. Turning away, you had tried to hold back and hide your laughter. It was just so convenient that even here his black and white color scheme was inescapable. Yep, that's what I was just saying. Shaking off the snickers, you were glad that Baxter had the forethought to bring a towel. He shouldn't need to dry off, but at least he had a comfortable barrier between himself and the ground. Baxter stared right ahead, hypnotized by the moving water, and carefully lowered himself under the towel. The interesting thing here is that unlike Saro's character, I won't be staying on the shore with Baxter. Marina's gonna go swimming. So we probably won't interact with him as much here. For you, your family, and your neighbors, the ocean was an old and well-loved friend. But witnessing the wonder dancing through Baxter's eyes reminded you of just how vast and awe-inspiring the sight truly was when it was right in front of you. Do I want Baxter on the ocean for this? I don't know. Probably gonna eat. I don't know. You glanced at Cove and realized that he was taken in by the sight of Baxter as well. The beach was a special place in the people of Sunset Bird. Now it was working its magic on Baxter. No, it's not. Baxter doesn't really care. Oh, maybe he does. He's a tourist. So I will say this. This is one thing I like about Baxter Ward. Something I can identify with Baxter Ward. At least the impression I get of him. He does have an interest in going places. He is fully embracing the tourist lifestyle. I did this a few years ago. I went on a trip to the American Southwest with the intention of being a tourist and seeing new sights and experiencing new things that I would never get to experience otherwise. Which is what I feel like Baxter is trying to accomplish out of this summer. He's not trying to make connections with people. He didn't ever expect to make connections with people. He's trying to enjoy new experiences before he gets too old and out of college and doesn't have time to experience life as much. I really think that's what he's trying to do here. I still think he goes about it in a very wrong way, and he's kind of an obnoxious person. Don't get me wrong, I don't like Baxter, but I feel like that's what he's trying to do, and so for him, this is probably really cool. That's kind of what this moment is about, too. Cove seemed flattered by the awe and unspoken approval written all over Baxter's face. This impassive smile. The sea meant more to him than even the others living there. To appreciate it was to accept him. He hugged his knees to his chest.
So?
What did you want to do? When you didn't answer, Baxter tore his focus away from the water. He was pleasantly surprised to find out that Cove had directed that question to him instead. Oh, I've been running on the assumption that you all had something in mind. Whatever it is works for me. Oh, we don't. Nope, no ideas. Honestly. Oh, yes. Then truthfully, I'd prefer to stay as dry as possible. Taking a stroll, or simply remaining here where we are, enjoying the scenic view, would make a perfect afternoon in my book. But my wants shouldn't interfere with yours. I won't stop anyone from having fun in the water. We're at the shore, and I'm not heartless. I want a Kingdom Hearts meets Our Life world, where you meet these people. He's not heartless. Baxter would fit in well with the Kingdom Hearts people. Cove could be in your party. Just saying. I could see that. What was I gonna say about this though? I don't know. Cove nodded understandingly. The odds were low that Baxter was going in for a dip in jeans and a shirt that looked too delicate for the washing machine, but that was fine. Personally, I want to go swimming. I think I'll just get my feet wet. My plan was to get some sun anyway. A stroll sounds nice. She shrugged. Personally, I want to go swimming.
Sounds good.
Me too. Cool. Stretching your arms high above your head, you felt the sunshine in your fingertips. Baxter never moved his eyes off you. I hope the water is exactly to your liking. Cove kicked his heels, sending some grains of sand that had gotten on his tall sailing. He had done well starting the conversation, but now he's unsure how to keep it going. Luckily, it didn't take long till you heard shouts. You turned your head to see both Miranda and Terry running straight for you. Miranda was faster, making leaps and bounds across the sand. Terry followed in her wake, laughing with her towel clutched around her shoulders and flowing like a cape. Miranda started making your jumps more theatric and more precarious as she got closer. Cove waved them on with a bright grin. You shouted a greeting, you cheered at their antics. You waved too, you laughed, you shook your head, you hoped they wouldn't fall. You cheered at their antics. Woo! The two officially arrived at your little group setup, looking completely ready for an ocean adventure. They were already in their swimwear and raring to go. Yeah, so this is a tankini. That would be what you'd call a tankini. I learned this today. This is the thing we've learned. I love the colors on her outfit. Holy crap, she's fantastic. And Terry's got... I was really considering wearing a wetsuit as well to this, but I think Marina would be the like I said, she would have a toned stomach. She would be a little bit like, hey, look at me, I'm cool, I have a very defined body type. I mean, not unlike Terry. We'd get along pretty well with Terry, I think. Terry might be her workout buddy. I could see that. Miranda probably comes too, though. Miranda probably works out. I can see Miranda being that way. Hell, Cove probably works out with us, really. Yeah, then we're raring to go. Awkwardly, Cove pointed in Baxter's direction. He remembered that Miranda hadn't actually seen him before. That's Baxter. The strange young man's presence nearby suddenly made a lot more sense to her. Miranda shyly waved with a cheerful smile.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Of course.
Baxter offered her a handshake, and Miranda grew confused at his formal gesture, checking the reactions of her friends on if she was the weird one for thinking that was weird. That only made her smile widen. His smile widened. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, I love these people. It's a good, fun summer group. Baxter's a good addition to the group, as much as I don't like Baxter. I can assure you that I'm harmless. You knew Miranda well enough to recognize the worry she was trying to hide behind was more of a more collected front. It was easy to imagine she might have felt somewhat intimidated. Baxter had an air of maturity about himself, while Miranda was a little bit childish and shy in comparison. Hesitantly, she clasped her hands and gave him a proper shake. Thanks for meeting us here today.
My pleasure.
Never, ever, ever say that again. He's also got an ASMR quality to his voice, and I hate it. Baxter placed his other hand gently on the back of hers while he spoke. They both let go and Terry sprung forward.
Hey, buddies.
I was waiting for the hey buddies. She teasingly punched Baxter's upper arm. Nice to see you too. Terry had already made a dramatic introduction to him at the start of summer. She was excited to skip right to the good part, hanging out. The B-Man is actually here. I can't believe how long it took for everyone to get together. Hi, Cove and Marina, too. Hey, catch us up. Did we miss anything important? Other than Baxter appearing in the neighborhood, it's been totally normal. You shrugged like Cove. You gave a vague answer. You gave a recap over how your family's doing. What have you been up to?
Oh,
The usual. Terry laughed and mentioned a few things about her own parents. Miranda brought up her family and shared some of the wild things her older brother had done. Terry, she really likes Jude. I get it. Terry then started talking about her morning and how she'd almost overslept since she'd stayed up too late last night. She bounced on her feet as she spoke. But don't worry about me being tired today. You know I ran on less back during school. Miranda filled the group in on her morning. Apparently everything had gone smoothly. She met up with Terry the way here and you knew the rest. Culver offered a suggestion to the gang. Hey, why don't we take this out to the water? And why don't we take this out to the next video? I'll see you then for more of the adventures of our friend group and Baxter.